What up? This is Mr. Royce of Royce Media coming at you guys with another video, with another live stream. Alright, y'all see what the title say? We're going to talk about the passport brawls today. Yeah, I have been promising this one for a minute, so we're going to talk about it today. Yeah. I'm going to let y'all fill up in the chat room, get some people in the chat room, and then we're going to get it rocking. So how was y'all day today? For me, myself, it was good. Mine was good. I don't have any complaints. So, sitting around watching some of the YouTube fuckery, because y'all been wilding out lately. So, just enjoying a bit of that. I was watching actually earlier the Hood Conservative, watching his live stream about the Tariq Nasheed versus Peter from the Untouchables. And if you heard any of my other content, we use the name Untouchables for the small hats. It's interchangeable. So it was pretty good. It was a pretty good stream that Conservative did. And it was really, I have to say, it was good work by Tariq Nasheed, and that's a lot for me to say that. But it was a good work watching him dismantle this guy and really get this guy to really say some stuff. You know what they say, and this is not a Holocaust joke, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and this guy kind of let some of the cats out of the bag and spoke to stuff that a lot of people know, but nobody wants to say it. So, but boy admitted to some stuff, and it wasn't a good look for them. They'll probably put him in the same re-education class with Kyrie Irving. Hey, as y'all getting into the chat room, as y'all coming to the chat room, hit the likes, on your way in, and shout yourself out. Let me know you're in there. So, anyway, like I said, I was looking at that. I was looking at some live streams about the interview that Kanye, or Ye, as he's calling himself nowadays, that he did with an interview he did with Alex Jones. And some of the commentary depends on who you listen to. And I haven't seen I haven't seen the actual video, but I've seen commentary, and some people were saying, I guess, Charlie Chaplin came up, and the guy with the little mustache, he came up, and some people said that Kanye allegedly said he likes Mr. Chaplin. Some people said in their commentary that he didn't say that he admired, but that he admired some of the things that the Homelanders did during their their campaign, such as jet propulsion and certain jet propulsion steroids and things like that. So that was that's pretty much what those streams were about. Other than that, just basically, like I said, checking out some other YouTube channels. If you're not subscribed to Hood Conservative, go over there and subscribe to his channel if you're not subscribed to. Actually, that was my boy G Dizzle. Y'all know I like to plug his channel. He's pretty entertaining. He was talking about the Kanye and Alex Jones interview. So, go subscribe to his channel as well. Oof, man, getting kind of tired there. But anyway, so what else is happening? I was on Pablo Escobar's channel the other night with the Thug Max, and if you're not subscribed to Pablo Escobar, check him out. Go subscribe. He does good content. He's pretty heavy on the Passport Bro side. So, that's, it's pretty good content that he does. So, go check him out, and while we wait on people to get to this chat room, I gotta go make a run real quick. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So what we got? All right, kick this off, and let's get into it. Let's talk about the Passport Broads. I've mentioned the Passport Broads before, Passport Bertha and Passport Mary, because with the attack on the Passport Bros, it's like the whole waiting to exhale. Well, not waiting to exhale. Stella got a groove back. It's like that's been all but forgotten, and the fact that particularly in the black community, which is where the Passport Bros really, that's black YouTube and black social media. It seems to be conveniently omitted that black women actually have more passports than black men. That's the big thing. It's been shown statistically that they hold more passports. And going back to the Stella Got a Groove Back days, Terry McMillan, who is in the thumbnail, that I want to say came out like maybe, let's say 92, 93. Let me take a look real quick. That. I remember when that came out because I was a young fella. That came back. Oh, okay. It came back. It came out back in '98. Okay, so I went back a little too far. But let's see when this book was written. See when the book was written. But okay, that was '96, and that was like around the time I first, a little bit after I first started traveling. And I can tell you back in 1992, 93, I remember the girls' trips to Negril and Ocho Rios, Jamaica. I remember women that I worked with and women in my family on my ADOS side. They would always be trying to go to like Jamaica. They would always be trying to go, or like Trinidad and Tobago. That was the other one. It was either one of those. They would always be trying to go to those countries They would always giggle and snicker about the guys. And then 1998, Stella Got a Groove Back came out. And, that was the story of a 40-some-year-old stockbroker. She went to Jamaica and she met a Jamaican guy there, and he was like 19 or 20. And she fell in love with him, and, eventually they got married. And the author, Terry McMillan, she actually did this in real life. So she was one of the first passport broads on network, in major media. She was one of the first passport broads, that was, and there was a big media campaign. Like I said, there was a movie and stuff. They got a major movie, whereas the passport bros, you get Barillas telling you why you shouldn't leave the country, and simps, you know. But like I said, I'd seen this prior to that movie coming out. I already knew what it was because, I travel. I have relatives on my, Central American and Caribbean side. Got relatives in some of those places, and they talk about what happened. A lot of them was on the Sankey Panky tip. So, a lot of them was, that they had ways of, acquiring things, and they would frequently come into contact with women from the U.S. and in Europe, particularly like the United King nations, and these women would basically be over there being passport broads, and then you had. Let me not get that far just yet, but not only did you have like the passport broad situations, I knew a woman about 28 years ago. She went on a cruise, white woman that I used to work with. She went on a cruise and she fell in love with the Jamaican bartender on the boat and took him off the boat. And they ended up being married for a while, had a few kids. That I want to say they got divorced around. They got divorced around 2016. Yeah, but they met on a cruise ship. She was married prior before, and he was like the rebound dread. He was he's basically a renter dread. So you had that situation. I know a few situations where, another girl I used to work with, she married an African, which, visa tricking. That's going to be my next video, visa tricking. But, this chick, she somehow met an African somewhere and, brought him back to the U.S. and married him. And he put a baby in her. And then, eventually he ran back to Africa. But he ran back to Nigeria, more accurately. But, this whole passport broads, it's a very real phenomenon. Thing is, man, I wish I had some of y'all in the comment section, talk about this, because I'm not the only person I know that have seen this. In fact, I was in Mexico, I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and was at a resort, and there was a girls trip there. At the same time, me and my wife and our group of friends was there, and the girls' trip was it was all it was all Black American ADOS swimming, and they were passport tricking with the Europeans and the some of the Mexican locals, and we saw them, cavorting and gallivanting, walking around holding hands and stuff, So they was on their passport bra stuff. Then last couple of years ago, my wife and I was in the Dominican Republic, and we saw we saw a guy. He had to look like he had to be about 27 years old, dark skinned Dominican guy, and he was walking down the street with a woman. She at least looked 63, 64 years old. You know, obvious uh, British woman. He's walking. They're walking and holding hands. This guy, you can tell, he spends quite a bit of time in the gym. You can look at her and tell she didn't spend any time in the gym. But you know, she was she was passport tricking. She was a passport broad. So, and actually before that, we were in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and we saw several people that came to the resort we stayed at. We saw seven different groups of where you had um, the bartenders and the work staff were uh, entertaining the older unattached women there, and guess who they primarily were? You got it, the sisters. Yeah, they was out there passport, out there passport tricking. They was out there being passport broads. So, you know, it's real in the field. And like I said, I've been seeing it the last 30 something years. And so I know it exists. I see it all the time. And once you know what it is, you know what you're looking at. You once you see it, you know exactly what it is. So, you know, um, all of that being said, I don't have an issue with what grown people choose to do with other grown people, as long as it's done with consent and as long as it don't infringe on my rights. I've got no issue with that. I've got no issue. Like I've said it many times before. I don't have, I support passport bros. Um, I support flex pets and sex pets as long as whatever they're doing with adults and it's consensual. I've got no issue with that. Do what you do. Just understand the consequences and the risk involved, But do what you do. Do what makes you happy. I'm not gonna get on a moral soapbox and tell you niggas is wrong. I'm not that guy at all. I'm like, in fact, as far as passports, I tell any man, get a passport, go see the world. If you don't like the way stuff is here, go somewhere else. If you feel like your dating options or your options to find a spouse would be better overseas, get your money right, get your passport, and go overseas. you know, hey, who am I to get in the way of your um, happiness or misery? Get out there and get it, you know. And like I said, I'm the same way I am with the passport bros and the blacks pats and the passport brads and stuff, because they're passport brads and they're sex pats and stuff. I'm the same way with the passport bras. Listen, if you're a woman and you think you have better options going to, you know, other countries, as far as picking men, uh, hey, do it. Get your ass out of here and do it. You know, just go. Hop a plane, go. You got one life to live. Get your ass on the plane and go. Just don't turn around and try to criticize the guys that do it. That's my only thing. Don't criticize the guys that do it. If you feel like this whole, I don't know. I think it's women in the U.S. and it's the sisters in particular. Yeah, and I'm on y'all asses, but you all have an attitude of um, what's good for me, but not for thee. Do as I say, not as I do. And that's a problem. You all want to be modern women, but want traditional men. You all want all of this freedom, and you want men to have as many rules as possible. And I'm like, bitch, no. Like, bitch, no. I don't know what you think this is, and you see it bleeding over into the passport bro spaces. And so, um, and now you got a lot of you young broke chicks talking about, Andy, we gonna get our passports and we gonna go over to. Bitch, you been doing it. I just told y'all about. I've been seeing it over 30 years. So you've been doing it. You ain't impressing nobody. You know, you ain't impressing nobody. Bald head scallywag, you ain't impressing nobody. Go do what you gonna do. You know, and for the guys, I would say, man, you ain't got to explain none of these bald head scallywags. You know, let them talk. Let them talk. When they see you walking with that, that fine foreign thing, you know, what's gonna happen. They're gonna get all tight in the jaw. Start, fuming. Sweating up under their armpits and them fat folds. Let them be salty. They want to be strong and independent. All right, go be strong and independent. Like I said, go get your passport, Bertha. Go get your passport, and do what I already been seeing you guys do. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about Italy. That's another one. Italy and France. The sisters love running their asses over there. Italy and France, and them guys already know. They know how to get the money up out of you. But hey, you grown. You do what you want to do. You want to run over there and I'm going to get me an Italian man. Well, go get you an Italian man. I'm going to go get me a French man. Go get your French man. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. So, all of the posturing and, feigning, nobody cares. Like I say, you ain't doing nothing different. In this country, Loving versus Virginia, that y'all push for that. So, hey, and it is what it is. I've got no issue with it. I like my wife. So, but y'all push for Loving versus Virginia. That was you and Brad. So you and Brad can figure that out now. So I know what the guys from the passport bros, the SYSBM bros, the Blex Pats. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. So, like I said, I don't have an issue with it. Anyway, but yeah. I've seen quite a few cases of like I said, I've seen quite a few cases of women going overseas looking for love. I've seen women recently on YouTube. They go overseas, you know, either following a man and or looking for men. And the thing is, you know, they don't understand how good this country is for them until they leave it. This is again, this is in particular the sisters. You know, they don't they don't realize just how good this country is to them until they get up out of it. A few months back, I was watching a video of this 8 ounce woman from the south side of Chicago. She she took her ass over to Ghana and you know, chasing her baby daddy, you know, because she was visa tricking. Which that's gonna be another video. She was visa tricking, but she went over there looking for uh, and she was running up behind the baby daddy, and she wound up, you know, moving to Ghana, selling all her stuff, moving over there, and you know, which is fine. You do what makes you happy, but the problem is she really didn't educate herself on living in Ghana. Okay, she got over there and she tried to bring that Southside bitch energy over there. And them Ghanaians, you know, they showed that's no country for Southside bitches. You know? So that's what she had to deal with over there. You know, she was talking about how, you know, she had to catch a cab, and you know, I guess, you know, according to her, I guess that the driver tried to hustle her out of some money, and it resulted into a physical confrontation, and the people wouldn't help her because she was an outsider, number one, and she wasn't covered by a man, number two. And you know, and like I said, she brought that Chicago Southside bitch energy, and they weren't having it. And she complained a lot about that. Complained about the men, the how the culture is regarding the men over there. And you know, my thing is, but you had a baby by a Ghanaian, number one, and then you moved over there. You just packed up all your stuff and moved over there. You know, and so that's on you. That's, you know, that was on her. You know, everybody talks about, you know, these stories of passport bros getting robbed and stuff. You know, well, I'm pretty sure there's some robbery stories, and there's some stories of shit going wrong with the passport broads too. So, you know, let's not act like it's just a black male thing. And in fact, it's probably more dangerous, you know, for the females, because you're a woman, and the protections that we have in the society in the U.S., you don't have them outside of the U.S., especially when you ain't a part of that culture and you don't know the language and stuff. And you female, you're going to have far less protections, you know, and especially if you are unattached, you don't have a family, or you don't have a man that you're being covered by in them countries, you're going to have problems, you know. But you strong and independent, and, you know, girl power, and, you know, so take your punk ass over there. You know, take your punk ass over there. It is what it is, you know. I hope you be safe, hope you be happy. But if you don't, remember, the choice is yours. You know. But yeah, man. And you know, getting back to the passport broads conversation. I was just in Mexico not too long ago. Big old this is a a couple of big Shirleys there, celebrating the birthday. And these girls are big, man. I'm talking 5'4", 5'5", easily 320 plus pounds. Huge, huge. And they was over there, you know, trying to meet with different guys on the boat, and at the little excursions and stuff. And first of all, most of them guys brought sand to the beach. The guys that didn't bring sand to the beach was not looking for 320 plus pound barillas. So, you know, this is that's the same thing that happened in Mexico last time. Which I forgot to mention, and I'm gonna go back to that story. But for these girls, they weren't looking for that, and so you can see the the longing and the frustration in their faces because they're looking at all of these couples and stuff. Being booed up, and even in them, even in a place like Mexico, there's not a whole lot of tall Mexican men, and um, I don't think I can't ever recall ever seeing a Mexican man uh, with meeting a 320 pound plus black women. I don't see that as their that's what they go after. It's not to say they don't go after women with a little weight on them, because I've seen that. You know, they love the white women, but as far as as far as the heavyweights among the sisters, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I haven't seen it. So, when you divestors, if you hear, you know, uh, uh, if you have something different, provide proof, stick it in the chat, because I've never seen it. You know, I've never seen it ever. You know, uh, but going back to when I was at the resort a few years back in Mexico, I forgot to mention that was there was a group of like Africans there, young African cats, looked like they may have been like footballers, which in American terms are soccer players, but they look like footballers. These guys are in shape, they look athletic, and I've seen them handling soccer ball on the beach, so they had some skill there. So I'm pretty sure they were footballers, but they were there on vacation, and that group that looked like maybe a wedding party or something, or a girls' trip, with the black females. They was trying to get the attention of these African guys. It's like five of them, and these African guys, they had Mexican women, they had white women there. You had women that looked Latino, but they weren't Mexican. These guys had a lot of attention, and they were meeting with a lot of girls and going places and hanging out, having a good time in the pool and on the beach and stuff. And you can see the sisters, you can see them getting highly tight in the jaw. So, you know, um, so you saw that for the few days while I was there. The last couple of days, it I guess since they um, couldn't meet any black guys or African guys while they were there. One of them, it's Brad. Uh, he was at one of them, like real tough, and he ended up getting with her, and he ended up, stroking her down in one of the pools. I know it because I saw it. I saw it, and I'm nosy, so I see something. I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna tell something. and that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking and I'm telling. But yeah, he ended up struggling it down, but it was a Brad she met out of the country, so you know. But again, it's passport broads, so you know. So like I said, I've been seeing passport broads for over 30 years. It's not a new phenomenon to me. You know, I've been knowing about it probably longer. Like I said, my other side of the family is Caribbean and Central American. You know, and I talk with my cousins and stuff, and they got stories to tell. You know, they got stories to tell. It all involves women 20 years older than them, because that's how they get down. You know, back in the day, that's how they got down. Now them dudes are family guys, but even I've got younger cousins that they they they're in shape young men, and they get hit on all the time by older women over in those places. So the passport broad movement is so widespread, it's so deeply entrenched. It's not a thing. It's not even a thing. They don't even call themselves. I named them passport bras. They don't call themselves that. They just get up and go. I had a cousin right now on my ADOS side. She trying real hard to get over. She's trying real hard to get over there to Ocho Rios. And in fact, some girls I went to high school with, they go to hedonism every year. They go to hedonism every year over there in the Grill, Jamaica. And if y'all don't know about that, go look it up online. Look up hedonism, hedonism 2 in the Grill, Jamaica. Look it up. Look it up. I got a couple of cousins. They're trying hard to get over there. They're trying to get themselves some men of dreads, as if like I don't know. I'm like, you go do what you want to do. I don't want to be a part. I want no parts of it. I'm not a big fan of the island of Jamaica anyway. It's not one of my favorite places to be. Sorry, Jamaicans. I don't like your island. Don't really care for it that much. So, anyway, you guys in the chat, y'all got any questions? Especially on this subject of the passport broads, passport Brenda, passport Beatrice, and passport Mary. Y'all got any comments? Any questions? Well, it don't look like there's too much going on, but I'll be doing another live stream either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll put something up. I'll put a thumbnail and the announcements and stuff up on the schedule to knock out something for this weekend, and hopefully it'll be something that you guys find entertaining. Anyway, this is Mr. Royce Media. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out. Y'all be easy.